as you guys can tell, right on the wall right here, this actually looks like church organ pipes from a church, which is pretty cool. Now, I told you guys back at the entrance before we came in this cave that I was going to show you the natural cave entrance when they first came down in here, and which the natural cave entrance is right there.
Is that what that is? Is that
That's how
daylight I'm seeing through there?
That is actually a light up there, because what it does, it's kind of like an S going inside there. And that's how they climbed down in here for the first time. Back in 1878. Because this was the very first room they discovered. Now, when they first discovered this room, unfortunately they didn't have the lights or anything else like that we have in here. Say the light walkways, they didn't have the big walkway or anything else like that we had, right? All they really had was ropes climb down in here. They couldn't really see a lot up here, all this. They couldn't see a lot up there. So, you know, I can do this though.
So what type of lights did they use? Did they have like lanterns?
Lanterns.
Lanterns.
Lanterns, that's it.
Wow.
Like the 1800s.
Did they camp down here when they first got in here? They stayed like days?
No, actually what they did is that they would actually climb out. Because it's so humid in here that they couldn't really, it's really.
Just do one day thing.
Yeah.
Climb down.
That's it.
They hike up around or take horses?
At that time, they didn't have the roadway or anything else we had, so they would actually hike up and down.
So the hike up and down was probably the hard part.
Oh, it's 2,200 feet from the lake all the way up.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
And that's now. Imagine 400 feet more lower.
Yeah.
That's 2,600 feet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a long way up. Now, inside here, we do have some other formations inside here. Say like this one right here. This is what we call the cave draperies, of course. This is the best formation of cave draperies you guys will see. As you see, they're very big. So therefore, they're really nice. Also inside here, if you guys look, see my flashlight right over here? That formation right there, that right there is actually what we call splatter mites. And this is the only room you guys can see these in which, with splatter mites, the way they're formed is that water would drip down from the ceiling and fall down and hit the formation, but it hits it with such velocity when it's falling down, it'll splatter on impact, which become splatter mites. Now also inside here, like I said, this is the first room they discovered, but also that ladder you guys see right across over there, that's actually how they got down into the lower rooms back then. You guys see a steel ladder right behind that wall over there? That's how they got down into the lower rooms. Yes, that was actually people who wrote their names over the original founders of this cave. They tried to take claim over it. But unfortunately, we know the truth. So therefore, it wasn't very nice, and I'm not very happy with it. But other than that, we do have this one right here. It's what we call the falling giant. Right here. The same group of scientists from UC Berkeley measured this piece as well. And they told us that this piece actually fell out of right here. The reason why we call it the falling giant. And as you guys can tell, there are stalactites in there. Therefore, you guys can tell that it's been down for a very long time. But we do have some big stalactites in here. Like, let's say like one right over here. That is what I call this stalag torpedo. It is huge. Now, other than that, do we have any questions about this room so far? Or about the cave? In other words, anything? Airflow. Airflow. There are several tunnels through here. There are 70 some up there. They're out here. There's a bathroom in here.